Happy Friday, Sooner Nation. Welcome to the Sooner Surge Double Trouble for another, your nightly, the place you can come every night for Sooner content. We're 24 hours removed from the Sooner softball getting the four-peat. There's so much to talk about still, Jay. Even on that side of things, you got football camps going on, recruiting news, lots to talk about.
A lot going on. I mean, you can talk softball, you can talk football. There's a lot. And, I think it's kind of settled in that to me, I was looking at some stuff tonight and that it's just kind of crazy. Some of these seniors, we won't see again there. I think what's really cool is Kenzie Hansen, Tiari Jennings, and Carly Keeney are sticking around as graduate assistants next year. I think that's great. Great news.
Hey, Lori, thanks for being the promoter of the like button last night. You got us over 300 likes. Appreciate that. Jay, one thing. I know people have been asking about portal for softball. They're going to get some portal people, I promise you.
Yeah, there's some needs. I mean, I think catcher's one because you don't have any experience there. And then probably an experienced pitcher, I think, will be two. Remember that portal opened the day after the NCAA selection showed. It's a 45-day window. So there you go. I don't know if anybody saw this. Is kind of off softball for a minute, but football. I'm sure people have seen the Jeopardy video going around with Dabo Swinney. It is freaking hilarious. Have you seen it, Jeremy?
I have not.
It's Jeopardy, and the question is, I'd have to put a link in here, but it's basically trying to describe what the answer is transfer portal. And Dabo's one of the guys on Jeopardy. He doesn't know the answer because he doesn't know what transfer portal. It's pretty funny. You need to check it out.
Lane Kiffin would probably know the answer.
By the way, real quick, Sperry looks amazing. I'm sure everybody saw the video of the deep ball with Josh McCuistion there on the background. He looks unbelievable. He's going to be really good. You haven't seen it either, Jen. I don't know if there's a way to drop it in here or not, Hunter. It's hilarious. And that'd be you could do a whole video on that, which we are doing a video on the seniors, by the way. We were going to do it today. There's too much. There's too much to talk about with those seniors. I want to give it its due diligence because it's unbelievable what they accomplished at Oklahoma.
And Colin's dropping his all-time Sooner list there. Jay, I know there's a name that you've mentioned to me, and I think you put it in the Discord of someone to keep your eye on.
Yeah.
Riley Ludlam has graduated Big Bad Brat 100, which means they really need a catcher.
And the name I'm just going to throw out there is Edenfield from Florida State. Yeah, what do you think? What do you think?
I mean, she's a great catcher, Jay. She's a great hitter, great catcher.
But let's just preface something. Nobody's entered the portal yet. I'm just saying, definitely a position. Jay Johnson says no. Not a fan, I guess, but
I haven't been a fan either. But
she has. Listen, Jeremy, you said that, but listen, she has not entered the portal. Okay,
no, she hasn't.
She was doing some videos she did do an Instagram video for an ad commercial with Jocelyn Allo and Nicole Mendez from Oklahoma.
Hey, Jay, what was this 235.15?
I am not sure on that unless that was with
Jay.
Yeah.
Let me ask the viewers this too. Kevin Sperry better than Michael Hawkins Jr.?
I think better, more accurate arm right now. Maybe.
Will Kevin Sperry play before Michael Hawkins?
No.
So you think it will be Arnold, Hawkins, Sperry in that order?
I do. I think that's the way it's going to go.
2 years of Arnold, 2 years of Hawkins.
I don't know. I can't predict the future, Jeremy. I think he's really good though. Mark says OU granting making wishes for transfer pitchers. They've had a lot, and they're going to get one this year. I guarantee you they're going to get a portal starting pitcher. Because you look at they got Keeney last year and Maxwell, who were both really experienced, and they already had Nicole May, who was experienced. The most experience they have on this team in the pitching staff, Kirsten Deal and Peyton Monticelli.
Yes, I mean,
not a whole lot of experience.
Attitude I think with culture around it can be better. Big Bad Brat. Sooner fan asked, was OU recruiting the 4-star O lineman who committed to Auburn? He's the guy from Bigsby, Jay. We talked about him.
Oh, did he already committed?
He put on. I saw on Instagram or Twitter about him going to Auburn. Yes.
And Jackson said he didn't think he was all that, right? I think is
correct.
Hey, and I'm not. Let's not get on the Edenfield stuff. She's not in the portal or anything. Hey, OU offensive line wise, he did not have an OU offer. Bobby said, they could miss out on a lot. I mean, the way it's fallen, they might miss out on a lot. We'll see. You know why I think though these camps are so important right now that they're having there? I think it's really important because not only you get up close and personal there with the players, you get to actually kind of coach them, which you kind of see how they're going to respond to your coaching. I think it's very important.
Yeah. I see Michael asked about Erickson transferring back. Don't see that at all. But Colin, yeah, we're going to do a way too early preseason starting lineup projection in the next couple days, and a lot of those names will be on there, I promise you.
Hey, while we're talking about portal for a second, because we've talked about it a ton in football too. I had some time this evening and I was scrolling through Instagram and different things of players and just the Oklahoma culture in softball, the way they are so welcoming to all the portal players. They have such a tight-knit group. It's crazy how close they are with portal players and how close they became this year. And let me ask you this. This is an interesting question I thought I'd bring up. What's the total amount of players on a softball roster? Isn't it like 22 or 20? It's not very, it's right. Something like that, right?
Yeah, I don't know the exact number, Jay.
So is it easier to keep the culture close-knit when you have that amount of players to compare to an 85 or 110 football?
I will say I think OU's football program has been moving in the right direction on the culture side of things. And I think it's becoming – I think that tight-knit, you have the soul mission, all that's helping in my opinion.
I would agree with that. I would agree. Yeah, she is going to get and we're going to be seeing some Go Boomer tweets, I'm sure, pretty soon from Patty Gasso. But she's going to get really good players out of the portal. It's a fact. If you want to win a national championship, I mean, where else would you go at this point? I mean, come to OU.
Yeah, Uncle Charlie's right. They have mentioned that God is the 22nd player.
That's
22nd
right. That's
person.
correct.
Yeah,
that's right. Good.
So it's 21. Hey, Jay.
Kennedy's leaving.
Yeah, I don't think Najari Kennedy's leaving either. Jay, yeah, Pat Sajak, guys. What a farewell speech he gave. Unbelievable, but been there forever. Jay, we can talk as far as OU football right now. Look, you've got it's right around the corner. Things are going to start ramping up on the field, on the practice field. I'm ready for it. I don't know what else to say. July 1st is the big SEC kind of celebration. Speaking of celebrations, you got tomorrow night at Love's Field at 6 o'clock for the softball natty. And then July 1st, you have the celebration for entering the SEC, Jay, officially.
Yeah, and real quick on the Kennedy thing. And this is just me speaking. I don't know Kennedy. So let me just say this. If I was playing and I was that good as Kennedy, I would want to go beat Oklahoma. That's just me. I mean, yeah, it's almost like I don't want to compare the two, but like Kevin Durant going to play for Golden State. Golden State was going to win it probably anyway. They just had won a few. So sometimes I think some of those ladies might want to go beat Oklahoma. Go make a super team and try to beat this team. OU's losing a lot, by the way. I saw Mark's question though, real quick. I want to answer it. Anyone good in the portal right now? I mean, there's some pretty good players. I will say Arkansas sophomore catcher entered the portal. I believe she was 19th ranked player in extra inning softball a few years ago, but not a whole lot of offensive production from her this year.
Hey, and Matt, yeah, replacing the energy and those huge personalities will be tough. Sooner fan, So the predominant theory is that if OU gets 9-3, they're probably, quote, making the playoff. But what if the 3 losses are to the 3 best teams they play? Texas. What if the 3 losses are to the 3 best teams they play? Then they're definitely in.
Well, and Sooner fan, if those are their 3
no bad losses.
If those are their 3 losses, that means they won at Missouri and at Ole Miss.
There's no bad losses. They're in.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Yeah, there would be so much crying if Kennedy ended up at OU. It'd be unbelievable. And by the way, I love the ESPN crew that does the softball World Series, but I think they're tired of Oklahoma winning. Just listening to them the last few nights. I think
everyone is, Jay.
Yeah. And
everyone knows it. Hey, Ron, I cannot accept your 8-4 and be happy comments. I can't.
Eric,
if it's 8-4, if OU's 8-4, people are going to be calling for BV. I'm sorry.
First off,
they are. And rightfully, they should be a little concerned if OU's 8-4 next year.
Let me say this, Eric. Jeremy's wrong and you're wrong because nobody knows if those are the 3 losses, if they'd be in or not. Nobody knows. There's no way you can say yes.
I'm wrong and say, okay, shush it saying I'm wrong. I'm wrong and maybe saying
you can't say for sure.
And saying 100%, yes, I'm wrong. But if OU's 9-3 with no bad losses, my guess is 9-3 gets you in the SEC. OU's got the second toughest schedule, guys.
I do think there will be a 9-3 team make the playoff in the SEC. It's just a matter if there's a few 9-3. If the 2 9-3 teams are Alabama and OU, and Alabama beat OU, OU's out. Am I wrong?
What did I not read correctly?
Hey, real quick, while you're thinking about that, Jen, praying for you. Hope it heals quickly. We will definitely be praying for that, Jen.
Maybe someone can put the comment back. Kendall Wells, Jay.
Yes. I believe she's 2025. I believe another year. Hunter, correct me if I'm wrong.
2025 class.
I thought
2024 class.
Softball's confusing on that.
Yeah, it's 2024 class is you got Chaney Helton, you got Tia Malloy, and there's some others. The pitcher Lowry is it Lowry?
Yeah, maybe Hunter can drop it in there because it's kind of.
What did I say in reverse? I messed up. I don't know. I have to go back and read the comment.
I don't know what you are, but an Aunt Sooner, LOL.
Hey, if OU goes 9-3 and they beat those 3 teams that their losses were those 3, you're right. That means they beat Ole Miss on the road. They beat Missouri on the road.
Yeah.
I think OU's in at 9-3, Jay.
Well, Jeremy, it depends on who they beat and what their records are. So stop. You can't say that.
Hey, Eric, I don't scream 12-0 either, so.
It's a tough schedule, Chester. That's for sure. I mean, can't deny that at all. It is a very tough schedule. So we'll see. OU has a winning record against Alabama, just saying. And Eric's not a Washington fan. He lives in Washington, I think, but he's not a Washington fan. Hey, we can sit here and argue what 9-3 will get you. Okay? We can argue it all you want. But nobody knows. It depends on who the 3 losses are to. And those teams you beat, they ended up at 9-3. Did you beat them or did they beat you? Because it's going to be a freaking log jam. I'm telling you. It's going to be a log jam from 9-3 to 8-4. It's going to be crazy.
And Bobby, I understand that the softball wasn't as big as the women's basketball, but softball is still pretty big. Maybe not nationally in Oklahoma. It's a monster big. Okay,
I'll say
it's massive.
I'll say this: NBA Finals suck rankings. Awful. Did you see the ratings for that?
Awful, Jay. They're all watching the women's college softball championship.
Hey, Monty says, aren't we getting a couple sisters?
Yes.
You're talking about the Zakay sisters. Riley and Berkeley, I believe, is how you say their names.
Yes.
Correct.
And yes, 3 graduate assistants. I can get fired up right now about football if everyone wants me to. I'm not. I can do it right now.
You can get fired up about anything you want, Jeremy.
Yeah, I do, don't I?
Yeah, I think. Here's the thing.
Where's Ant-Man?
I don't want to talk about a lot of NBA, but the whole difference in that series is Kristaps Porzingis came back.
Sixth man.
Big difference. Auburn on the road is going to be tough. Jeremy, let's do it, Sooner fan said. Let's get fired up, bro.
Well, I'm ready, Jay. Fire me up.
Bring it then.
Well, there's nothing really to bring yet because, you want an OU football hot take right now? OU football hot take. I've said it already. And then I'll get to Eric's horrific comment. While he may be true about Cancun, but another bad take on the other one. I'll say this. Jackson Arnold will throw for more yards than Dylan Gabriel. There you go. I've said it all along.
Dylan Gabriel and Lincoln Riley will not.
Hey, Eric, you were wrong about Anthony Edwards, though. You were wrong about – he didn't play near as good as SGA. Not even close.
Why are we even bringing that up? Why are we talking about that?
Eric said something about SGA. It wasn't even close.
That's because you said something about Anthony Edwards.
Tatum and Jaylen Brown, to me, best duo right now.
Well, we'll see if they end up beating Luka and Kyrie. It's only one game, so there it is right there. Dropped it in there for us. Let's see. Yeah, I hate Mizzou. Kenzie's work behind the plate, blocking pitches, second to none, and the fact that she caught 5 different pitchers, which that would be a hard feat in itself, I think. I'm not going to listen. I'm not talking about him.
I'm not doing this tonight. He's not ahead of SGA, though. You're wrong. Okay. Just because Stephen A. Smith says it doesn't mean I have to believe it.
Jimmy, I'm not sure on Mike. I need to reach out, but I think he popped on the live. Was it last night after the championship? I believe he popped on. So
yes,
probably busy on his channel.
Yeah, he's young. He's young. Absolutely is. Jay, what's your hot take? I gave a hot take for football.
Hot take for football.
I got another one here in a minute.
I'm going to say hot take for football will be Woody Washington has his season high in interceptions. Hot take. There you go.
Okay. I do think Hurley's going to take the Lakers job. I think he's wanted to. The fact the way he answered it.
Jeremy, if he takes the job, bad for college basketball. Bad. That just proves that college basketball it's not good right now. Because if he's – I know people say, well, it's money. Who wouldn't take it? But it would be bad for college basketball.
Eric thinks J.J. Redick's going to be it.
Hey, by the way, Chester, a hot take is when you take something that is a hot take that you think is a wild take. It probably won't happen, but you're going to throw it out there. It's not what Jeremy said, which is Jackson Arnold. We all know Jackson Arnold's going to throw for a lot of yards. Come on.
Jay, are you chewing snuff, they said?
No.
Hey, by the way, anyone who is saying J.J. Redick should be the coach over Dan Hurley, guys, he's never coached before. Are you? What you're basically saying is LeBron is the coach, and maybe that's the thing, but they should have just kept Darvin Ham. J.J. Redick hasn't coached in a game.
A lot of NBA coaches don't coach until the NBA, Jeremy. Tyronn Lue.
Okay.
Tyronn Lue, right?
He was an assistant first, Jay.
Okay. What was Jason Kidd an assistant first?
I believe so.
No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't.
Okay.
He wasn't, Jeremy. Moser to UConn.
About time for trivia, Jay.
Yeah, I got a trivia question. Jerm, JJ basketball IQ and knowledge is incredible.
It is incredible.
Before I get to this trivia, though,
never been a coach.
Check out the FanStop, fanstop.com. When you get there, use code SURGE. You'll get 10% off your first 3 months when you sign up for the subscription for the shirt of the month. Go check it out. Working on some NCAA softball championship shirts soon. So we'll let you know if that gets released. They're officially licensed. Great shirts, great pricing. Go check them out, fanstop.com. Here we go. This trivia is interesting, and I think we'll see how long it takes y'all to get this. But I want to know who there's three schools, SEC schools, current SEC schools, that have a Madden and an NCAA football cover athlete. What are the three schools? They have a Madden cover and a college football cover.
Hey, what's a terrible argument? Hey, it would be the equivalent. Hey, guess who the coach of the Dallas Cowboys should be, Jay? You ready?
Yeah.
Dan Orlovsky.
Maybe.
Dan Orlovsky should be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys.
Texas
he's brilliant in the mind.
Give Greg a point. Give Mark a point because Texas and Alabama are two of them. There's one more. There's one more from the SEC. Texas.
Dallas going to go get Dan Orlovsky.
So Mark gets a point and Greg gets a point. One more team. There it is, Arkansas. I think Bobby was the first one to get Arkansas, so give Bobby a point. Crazy.
I'm taking the under slightly, Eric. But if he throws 10 and has 4,600 yards, I still think OU's going to be where they need to be. Hey, you can't get up in the 15s, though.
I'm counting Texas as an Arkansas. As a SEC team. That was the last sport played right there. That last game, OU Texas, they're in the SEC. Okay, even though if it's not official till July 15th. Hey, it had to have been McFadden, right? That's what I was trying to think of.
Maybe.
Had to have been.
Yeah, probably right. I did not hear that, Ron, but yeah, that's pretty much when they went rut-row.
That's hilarious, actually. Yeah.
Peyton Hillis, Bobby says.
Was he on the cover?
I do not recall, Jay.
Maybe he was. He had a really good year or two there where he was tearing it up. So
over under, Jay, on Jackson Arnold, 10 picks.
Ooh, 10 picks. Man, that's a good number. I'm going to say right under it. I'm going to say about
That's
9.
what I'm saying. I'm saying 8 or 9.
Yeah, I'm saying right under it.
I think more importantly should be how many yards he's got to throw for a lot of yards, probably.
Yeah. I'd love to be a fly on the wall at these camps right now with Seth Luttrell. I saw him yesterday there with Coleman, the quarterback offer that they've offered. Just seeing kind of hearing them coach, hearing them talk to these young players. Some of these guys, 2027 guys are there, 2026, 2027. So you still got a long time for some of these players. Leading receiver at OU.
Yeah, I've got.
Are you talking about yards?
It's going to be Deion Burks, probably.
Yeah.
Again, that's based. And listen, Andrew Anthony might come out of nowhere like he did last year. Because last year, guys, he did come out of nowhere. People did not expect him to be that good. I hope he does. Eric cannot stand Nick Anderson. And I don't know if Anderson's going to lead in yards, but Anderson might lead in touchdowns again. I think he's really good.
I think he's a good player. I agree.
Burks with yards, though.
Probably. Yeah, I saw that. That was during the championship series there, but it sounded like Baker might have reached out to Sterling, which is kind of cool. So,
Jimmy, I don't think Pettaway's playing enough this year. I don't think he's going to see the field enough.
We'll see. Jackson Arnold is going to eat.
Anthony, we know he's working his way back. There's not much I can say because I don't want to speculate someone's health. I think he's going to be good to go.
Mark says Baker would rather have Westbrook. I don't know about that.
Freshman year, Eric, you would have to give Anderson an A based on the fact that he was an almost all-American freshman, wasn't he, Jay?
Second team, wasn't he? I thought, but yes, Ron.
He had one drop that was bad. I remember one bad drop.
Is coming off a major injury, so he's working his way back. So
I can think of the one bad drop he had.
Yeah.
on the deep ball. Otherwise, he was pretty sure-handed, Jay.
He was
He was great after the catch. Hard to bring down. He was a physical blocker.
Receiver. Hey, I wish there was something we could do on that, Greg God. I really do. I don't know why they do that. I don't know how that works, but apologize. Nothing we can do about it. Yeah, saw him in high school. He was pretty good, Ron says. Eric, Tyler's asking, what does he need to work on, in your opinion? I mean, I think guys always have stuff to work on every year. I mean, he's only a sophomore. He's got a lot to work on. Trivia twice. So, I don't know. There you go.
Something about during trivia, yeah. Wide receiver core is loaded if the tight ends can produce. We think they can. If they can produce, it's going to be even better.
Yeah. We'll see.
I mean, I'd like to see more running back catches this year.
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, we still got a lot of time till the first game. Nobody knows what's going to happen and who's going to start in some of those positions. So we can blow smoke all we want about it.
I think everyone can work on things, Eric. I think Anderson, the one thing I would say Anderson can get better at, speed. I think he can work on his speed a little bit.
I think his route running is really good. I do think
his route running good. His hands are good. His blocking's good. His speed can be better.
Well, and I think they didn't, they threw that little flare to him some, but I think his blocking's really good on short things. So we'll see. We'll see.
Bobby wins despite the ads.
That's right. Must have got it right after the second ad. I don't know why it does that when I do trivia, but whatever. I don't know if I would say flaws that can't be like improved upon right away. I think, and Eric says he thinks he's going to struggle in the SEC.
Okay, I'm going to go look at the stats again, but all his yards were not against Tulsa and Arkansas State, Eric.
And it doesn't matter. That wide receiver is a position you can't just always put on the receiver. If the quarterback's not even looking to you to throw it, I mean, because I promise you there was a couple games, I think OSU was one of them, he was freaking wide open in the middle.
He had over 100 yards against OSU, I believe, Jay.
Well, he was wide open a couple times. So
he didn't play a lot early in the season because Andrew Anthony was there all the way to the Texas game.
That's true.
We also have to remember that. I think he had a good game against TCU, over 100 yards, 90 to 100.
I would agree.
I mean, the bigger question is he wasn't dropping the ball except for the one drop. So that's the main thing. He's not dropping the ball over the place. Eric, he barely played against Texas. Andrew Anthony played the whole first half, didn't he?
Hey, Matt, here, listen, I agree with you, and I actually heard this on another radio station a few days ago. Why is it that in the NFL tight ends are a premium? You have to have one. College game, not anymore.
Yeah, it's
is it because
style of offense, Jay?
What's that, offense?
Style of offense, Jay.
Okay. Why are not more college teams running NFL style offenses?
They get gimmicky, Jay. That's what.
I'll tell you the team that runs more of an NFL style offense. You know who it is?
Georgia.
They're pretty dang good, aren't they?
Well, when you have the guys on the line, Jay, it makes it easier.
What?
Hey, my thing on Anderson.
You can't say that. When you have the guys on the line, there's a lot of teams that have guys on the lines.
Maybe not those types of guys.
So Georgia's the only one.
No, they're not the only one, Jay. You brought up a team. I mean, I'm going to go back and look at how many plays Anderson played. Like how many snaps he was in.
Who cares?
I want to see. I want to look at it, Jay.
Yeah, why? Who cares?
I do think it's hard to judge based on, like you said, who's throwing the ball. Are they spreading the ball around?
I don't want to talk about last year's football team, to be honest with you. I'm moving on to next year. Every sports fan has that one play where they stared at their TV. What was that for Sooner Surge? Oh man.
I mean, where I stared
Well,
at my TV. Are we
there's
talking?
two
Are we
pla-
talking only? Are we talking only OU sports?
Well, I'm going to
Hey,
say,
Eric, go ahead, Eric, and drop the all. Put every game in here right now. I want to see it.
hey,
You won't put the good games, I guess.
hey, real quick, let me answer Colin's
Anyone can point out stats when they
Let
fit
me
their
answer
narrative.
Colin's question. I would say non-OU game. It was the whatever they called the kick six Auburn Bama. I stared at the TV for quite a while. I was like, this can't be really happening. That's one. But for Oklahoma, for an Oklahoma game, kind of like watching it and thinking, I can't believe what I'm watching. One of them had to be Trevor Knight in the Sugar Bowl. I was just like, wow. I was staring. I was like, is this really happening? Because Trevor Knight, everybody knows kind of the season and everything he was having.
I got one for you. Non OU. It was Cal Ripken when he got the longest one. I sat there and watched him jog around that stadium forever. I just sitting there in awe. Also Tiger Woods, many Tiger Woods moments. But OU for me, it was still OU Georgia first half. What we were doing to Georgia in that was one for me. And Eric, there it is. Drop it in there. One catch, 18 yards. Yeah, drop it. Now drop it.
That's a good one, Mark. Mark, that's a good one. Squib kick for sure. Hey, how about this one? I got a good one for you.
Oregon onside kick.
How about repunting the ball to Tyreek Hill?
Yeah, that was an idiotic decision.
Hey, Colin, what was yours? What was yours?
I've only seen you post the games where he didn't catch many. Let's post the other ones in there to be fair.
Yes, that's a really good one. That's one where in fact, I can't say I was staring at the TV because I stopped watching. I was so pissed off. So
the Jalen Hurts game against Baylor, Jay.
You want to hear a story about that?
Nick Benito game. Yes,
you want to hear a story about that?
Sure.
I wasn't watching that game live. I was at Jim Gaffigan, a comedian. I was at his show and came out of that show. I was following it on my phone. We had gotten tickets and we were front row. Somebody gave us tickets to the front row, so I couldn't really just stare at my phone. Or Jim Gaffigan may have called me out on stage and made fun of me and made jokes. So I was trying to follow along the best I could. I just knew they were getting whooped. Put my phone in my pocket, literally walked out of the show, and I looked at my phone, and I was in disbelief, man. I just unbelievable.
Sometimes not watching the game saves a whole lot of stress, Jay.
Yeah, it can. It can.
Yeah. Hey, and look, I'd love to go over some stats because I mean it's going to be here before we know it, Jay.
Yeah.
I'd love to start breaking down things for this season, moving the season maybe game by game, and we'll be doing that. It's about time to get off here, but yeah, Anderson had 100 yards against Tulsa, UCF, and West Virginia. Okay, pretty pedestrian. Yeah, I'm going to go look at snaps played. We'll get back with that tomorrow. I'd love to chat that up again and see who else besides Drake Stoops was getting the ball thrown their way.
Oh, that's a good one,
because there wasn't anyone else.
Michael, that's a good one. I'll tell you a time where I just stared at the TV was last night.
That was one, Jay.
And just because I was staring at it thinking, it's the last time.
I remember this play, Jay, the Franco Harris reception.
How do you remember that play? Were you even born? What year was that?
Probably, I didn't watch it live, Jay, but you remember NFL Films?
Yeah, and hey,
that play was all over. Hey, Eric, listen, I have not questioned, and I'm not going to question Nick Anderson's work ethic. I know we're saying that because Teddy Lehman said something about it, but that's been taken way out of context, in my opinion. What were you going to say on it, Jay?
I was just going to say I'm not there. I can't speak on that. I don't know.
I can't speak on Nick Anderson's work ethic.
And if he's nursing an injury, then I really can't speak on it. So I don't know the details to that. So I
hope he's working his butt off. He better be, but I don't know.
Well, hey, I'll say this. If he's not working his butt off, he's probably not going to be playing. When you think, I mean, Emmett Jones, Brent Venables, are they going to here's what I tell you right now. On June 7th, if Nick Anderson isn't starting in the first game, then yes, he probably didn't have a great offseason, right?
Correct.
So
listen, I know you guys are working hard on here every night, commenting. We appreciate it. We try to work hard every day, bringing content, and we'll be having a lot of content here on the Up and Up as we get closer to football season. Right now, it's pretty much practice news until SEC Media Days.
Recruiting's going to ramp up.
Recruiting will ramp up.
Yeah.
Thanks for being on here, everybody. It's always fun. Always fun. We'll do this again tomorrow night. Boomer.
Sooner.